College Town. Welcome in, Noles fans. It is another edition of Inside Seminole Football with the head coach, Mike Norvell. My name is Jeff Culhane. A bit of a new look out here tonight. What do you think? We're out in the courtyard, outdoors. We figured when the heat broke a little bit, we'd move this thing outside, and Bowden's has such a great setup here for our show as our host site that we're changing it up a little bit and enjoying a new setup here tonight. And looking forward to talking all things Florida State football with you over the next hour here on the program. He's here with us. We always appreciate his time. Please give it up for the head coach of the Noles, Mike Norvell, everybody.
Appreciate everybody coming out tonight.
What do you think, huh? We're here.
No, it's a great setup, and I really appreciate Bowden's just for the hospitality throughout the course of the year. Obviously, first year, you're doing the show. It's been a great turnout. Appreciate everybody that comes out and supports, and you're just a wonderful venue.
Yeah, absolutely. Can we give a round of applause to our folks that set this all up, to our team at Seminole Productions, Kirby Kander, Kyle Parsons, Wes McCall, Jacob Varga, Ethan Burdett, Brian Graves, Sam Collins, Danny Marino. That's the main crew. Big thanks to all the folks at Seminole Productions and to our crack audio engineer, Chris Culp, as well, please, everybody, for getting this set up. We appreciate this whole lineup here with us tonight. Great show. We've got Coach, of course, for the first half hour, and then we will talk with Azarie Thomas, the Niceville native, coming up a little bit later on. Standout corner for the Noles, and his position coach, Patrick Sertan, will be with us later on in the show here tonight. Coach, we're heading towards that final month of the regular season. I know you're continuing to find the answers, looking forward to find the different ways to go out and put this team in the best position possible. I know it hasn't been fun. I know it hasn't been obviously the expectation overall, but you guys are continuing to go out and work, and it started on Sunday night.
Yeah, and that's our focus this week is go get the job done. And everybody's pissed off about what happened Saturday night, and like I said in post-game press conference, I mean, there's so much that goes into that game, so much that goes into your preparation, and just to come up short, it's just it hurts. And we got a football team that they're ready to get back on the field, ready for the next opportunities in front of us, the work, the lessons, the things that are out there, and it's time to go get the job done. And that's something that players, coaches, everybody involved, we have to be better this week. We got to go and you'll be able to accomplish the things that we set out to do. And for everything that's happened up to this point, you can't control that now. You got to learn from the experiences. We got to be able to apply the lessons and, like I said, get the job done.
Yep, this Florida State football team under Mike Norvell, the Noles, have won 8 straight games in the month of November, posting 4-0 records in each of the last 2 seasons overall. And Coach, in the month of November, final month of the regular season, his career record 24-5. Very impressive, obviously, to say the least, with the execution and the result, the work that his teams have provided at the end of seasons. Kind of take me through. Let's go back and talk about this one a little bit, and 35,000-foot view. Things you liked, things that frustrated you, some of the items that you take away overall.
Well, I mean, having Azarie and Pat on the show tonight is going to be great because I thought that group, going against one of the best quarterbacks in the country and a guy that really can extend plays. They've been very explosive throughout the course of the year, and I thought our defensive back group, for the most part, was outstanding. Really limited the vertical shot. Was able to contain those receivers. At a pretty high level, but there were just moments that we had a lapse or a breakdown in a couple times with communication, things that that we absolutely can control and improve upon. But I thought that group really answered the call and did a nice job throughout the course of the game. I thought we saw some sparks. I thought when Luke went in the game, that third series, it was impressive to see him, be able to operate. Had a couple big runs, extending plays and drives. It was good to be able to get in the end zone, and we had our moments, and to be able to move the ball. We were on the positive side of the field. Just third downs. We just weren't able, either third or a couple of those fourth downs on the positive side of the field. We got to be able to convert on. We had some opportunities. Things that when you go back and you look at it, I mean, it's oh so close. And I mean, just the margin of victory and defeat, the margin of success and failure, is so tight in those games. And right when we needed that extra boost. I mean, we just weren't able to capitalize on in a couple of those situations. And I mean, for our team, for the work that we've got to continue to invest in, we understand the steps that are necessary. And like I said, it's all our focus going into this week just to go get it done.
I know it's not about the stats; it's about the end result. But if you'd have told me, hey, we're going to hold Cam Ward to no passing touchdowns in the season, low in passing yards, you sign for that in a heartbeat, no question about it. What about your secondary and the depth of that group? You can rotate a lot of guys through there, and you don't really skip a beat with that group in the back end.
Yeah, those guys. I mean, they compete, and they compete at a high level. And there was, it wasn't from the lack of trying on our opponent's part. I mean, they definitely tried to push the ball down the field. Just not a whole lot of places to throw. He does a really good job of just extending plays, and we were able to get pressure on him. Finishing in some of those moments were difficult, but I thought our guys really rallied to stay connected to receivers at a high rate, and it was because of that we were able to limit them in a lot of different ways there offensively.
Looking forward to talking with Azareye'h Thomas a little bit later on here in the program. This Florida State defense just allowing 200.1 passing yards per game, one of the best in all of the ACC here in 2024. Hey, time now for our truest hero of the game. We're going to go to the defensive front to a young man who Adam Fuller talked about today during the press conference as possibly playing his best game with the Garnet and Gold. That's big number 6, Darrell Jackson. As you look at some of the highlights here, he was able to shed blockers and really use that big frame, physicality, and athleticism. 6'5", 335, and he runs like a linebacker out there to go out and make plays and get after Cam Ward as he went out and had a couple of sacks, 2 TFLs, and a career high in sacks in that contest on Saturday night down at Miami. Darrell Jackson is our truest hero of the game. That's a guy that when he can turn it on and unleash it, Coach, man, I think it's going to be scary how good this guy can be. It feels like he's only scratching that surface. Yeah,
and I mean, he's got great size and obviously ability, and because of that size, a lot of times he'll usually have 4 hands on him. There's not a whole lot of single blocks for him, but to see him be disruptive, get to the quarterback, being able to finish a couple of those plays was big for our defense. And it was exciting to see him really cut loose and have an opportunity to create those explosives for our defense, and want to build upon that here in this this last third of the season.
Yeah, Coach Fuller made a comment today about last year Braden Fisk didn't have huge numbers early in the season, and he trusted the coaching, trusted the techniques overall, and then boom, at the end of the year, it was obviously an unbelievable ending for Fisk at the end of that season. Compared a little bit to Darrell to a certain degree where, hey, I'm not getting the numbers or maybe not getting the sacks, but if I follow the fundamentals and the teaching, those things are going to come.
Well, it's still about disruption too. And I mean, there's, sometimes numbers can lie in some sense, but I mean, as long as you're being disruptive, obviously the growth, you're trusting in that, the job and the responsibility that you have, I am a firm believer that the results will show. And, I think you even saw that a little bit with Jared Verse last year. Sure. I mean, he went the first part of the season not having just extraordinary, sack numbers, but I think he had 6 sacks in the last, month and a half of the year. So, that's something that you want to see that progression throughout the season. You want to see that confidence grow, and regardless of what the stats might say, you go be impactful. And as long as you continue to stay the course, much like Darrell's done throughout this year, when that moment presents itself, then you got to go finish. Yeah. And I thought he did a great job of that in the game.
Darrell Jackson, the former Gaston County Jaguar, our truest hero of the game. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. And our program is also brought to you in part by our friends at ABC 27. Get free local news and weather 24/7. Just search WTXL on your favorite streaming device and to watch local news and weather on your time. And you can watch, of course, the re-air of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell Wednesday nights on ABC 27 at 7 p.m. here in Tallahassee. Just getting going on our outside location here in the courtyard at Bowditch in College Town. More to come. Stay with us here on a Monday night. We're back after this time out.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Your extraordinary brain, a network of microscopic vessels so long they could circle the Earth 3 times. As your body's command center, it's the force behind your every thought, every memory, and every impulse. It's what makes you, you. And it's what drives us towards advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments to create the most comprehensive neuroscience program in North Florida and South Georgia.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
In College Town, this is Inside Seminole Football with Coach Mike Norvell. Let's rejoin the coach with Jeff Culhane.
Hey, we're having fun back on Monday night here in the courtyard outside at Bowden's in College Town. Welcome back to Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. My name is Jeff Culhane. Great show for you on a Monday night as an Noles. Happy to be back at home. North Carolina coming to town Saturday afternoon. That's a 3:30 Eastern kick. Speaking of that, time now for What's on Tap, brought to you by the official craft beer of Florida State Athletics, Oyster City Brewing Company. Check out the tap room on Gaines Street and pick up Legacy Lager for any FSU celebration, the officially branded craft beer of Florida State Athletics. We just mentioned it. We, of course, have the matchup. It was announced late Saturday night, Florida State and North Carolina. That is a 3:30 p.m. Eastern kick. And hoop season is upon us as the Florida State women in exhibition action on Wednesday night over at the Tucker Center, 6 p.m. Eastern. The men, Halloween afternoon. Bring your costumes out, everybody. That's a 3 p.m. Eastern tip time. And, of course, you see women's volleyball Friday taking on Cal. And women's volleyball got a nice win at Cameron Indoor Stadium Sunday, straight sets, beating Duke here this past weekend. Mila, does she have a favorite costume that she wears for Halloween? Softball player, maybe?
Well, yeah.
Plenty of costumes, I bet, right?
Good question. Well, you see, we actually had all the kids come out on Sunday night as our family night, and we have all the coaches' kids come out, and you always the week before Halloween, we'll have them dress up, and so there's plenty of costumes going. I can't remember what Mila was. She was something from Beetlejuice. So
Beetlejuice.
I don't know.
I like it.
It was.
She just can't say it 3 times.
Yeah, there you go.
She can't say it 3 times. That's right. Offensively, you saw a burst, and you mentioned in our first segment, Luke Kromenhoek got things going with his legs. And obviously, for a freshman quarterback, you're trying to catch up to the speed of the game a little bit and trying to get the progression and get your eyes to where you teach them where they need to go overall. But, man, this kid's an athlete, Coach. He obviously is going out and has a high level of moxie out there as a youngster playing just in his second game.
He does, and and I've been proud of him for just the poise they've been able to show, and really him and Brock both. I mean, those guys have been put in some challenging situations, but to see the natural playmaking ability show up, to be able to extend plays, obviously what he was able to do with his feet, and you had a couple explosive runs. And then to be able to come back, a really nice throw to Ja'Kai, down the sideline, on rhythm, on time, getting the ball out of his hands, and that's one of the things that, it all has to come together. And it's one of the things we've talked about just offensively is just, the consistency of each group, being there for each other, whether it's your receivers, getting open on routes, finishing plays, quarterbacks with great time, rhythm, offensive line, the protection, creating space in the run game to be able to have some of that balance. And when that all clicks and rolls together, it just makes everybody's job that much easier. And that's one of the things we're continuing to build upon is just that consistency. But for the quarterbacks and what they've been asked to do, and obviously a lot of things that they can learn from, especially in these last few weeks. But you're really pleased with their investment, their work, and what their futures are going to hold.
Talk to you about this in our pregame conversation on Saturday before the game. You don't have to change a whole lot as a play caller, right, with those two because their skill sets similar, but the way they grasp the offense very similar as well.
And, I mean, they put a ton of time and investment, into it. I think Brock, has been here for a year. He does have a little bit more experience, a little bit, obviously in just ways of operation. The in-game times that he's had. Obviously it helps him. But I mean, I think you see what I love about Luke and just the work that he's putting in, and even in the meeting room. I mean, he's seeing it so much faster, and being able to come in and to operate the way that he is, and obviously that was a rivalry game, a lot of emotion, definitely a tough atmosphere to just kind of get thrown into, and there were some elements of communication, with all groups that we have to be better, and I think that's a great experience for them to see the importance, and for all of our guys to see the importance of each rep, having 11 guys playing as one, to put ourselves in the best position.
We saw Brock come back late and lead the offense down the field. Found Malik Benson for a late touchdown in that game. Going to Malik a little bit and how he is continuing to evolve, Coach, continuing to grow overall, and for the receivers, that all has to be as one, as you talk about that rhythm, right? That timing, quarterback has to have time to throw, receivers got to run the right route and then catch the football. I mean, it's really a symphony coming together.
No, it is, and we've had guys that we've had our challenging moments this year, and there's been open doors and open opportunities. I think Malik has been a guy that he does a great job in practice. He does a great job on the sideline, trying to encourage, uplift, understanding that there's times that ultimately you're not in control of all aspects of what's going on around you, but you need to be in control of you. And I think he's done a really good job of trying to support this team and support others. Really spends a lot of time with the young receivers and trying to help bring them along. And it's a couple of those guys, Elijah, BJ, Luane, all got extensive reps there this last week, and those guys are taking advantage of opportunities. They're showing the consistency in practice. They're showing the playmaking ability, and getting probably the most work that they've had this last week in the game. Now we got to see that next step, and to be able to translate that into the course of the game, and you'll continue to build from there.
You're not just people say, well, you put the young guys in because you're building for the future. Yes, that's correct, but also you got to earn those reps. You're not just putting guys out there to go and play games. And Luane McCoy's a guy you have identified early, put him back at punt return, and he had a couple of catches for you on Saturday night as well.
Yeah, and I mean, really for everything, it's building for the game. It's building for the moments that's in front of us. Yes, I mean, these guys, you have to earn opportunities to get on the field. I mean, I owe it to every player. Obviously the work. I mean, there's guys that have been here 5 years. each game matters, and I'm not going to put somebody out there just to because I like them or because I mean, yes, I want to see everybody develop. I want to see everybody grow, but you got to earn opportunities in practice. You got to earn opportunities by showing the consistency of and the potential of what you can do, and then when you get your shot in the game, you got to go make it happen. And that's I think when you see young players, there's so much that they find out kind of in the fire, and you might think it's going to be one way, and then all of a sudden you get there, and man, every detail matters. All those fundamentals, those techniques, and you get excited to be in the game, but you still got to trust those elements of the little things to allow you to have the success that's out there for you. So I think that these next few games for those guys as they continue to push. I mean, I'm really excited to see what they're going to be able to bring. Not only to the offense. I mean, we've seen guys defensively that have emerged and had a chance to play, but just seeing them impact this football team here in this last third of the season.
Great to be here on a Monday night, live, Bowden's in College Town, here on the patio, enjoying the night. You can even spill your beverage like Beth did here and not make a mess. It's no big deal. We're outside, right? What? I did. Yeah. Well, we're all here together right now. We're all friends. We're all family. They had a great weekend in Gulf Shores at Floribama, so it's all good. I probably will spill something next here on the show. Don't think that might not happen. As our program brought to you in part by Florida Farm Bureau Insurance, Seminole Football, proud to partner with Florida Farm Bureau Insurance, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics, and introducing the official vodka of Florida State Athletics, SV Vodka. We won't spill that. Crafted for a smooth taste, SV Vodka is 100% vegan, perfect for those who value purity in every sip. Experience the unique blend of tradition and innovation with SV Vodka, the official vodka of Florida State Athletics. Coming up next, we'll talk with Coach about his defense and preparing for North Carolina coming to town on Saturday afternoon. That and more on the way. Live from Bowden's in College Town. We're back after this timeout.
Hey Seminole fans, this is Josh Storms, head strength and conditioning coach for Florida State football. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminoles.
Dining room, picnic, tailgate, or conference room. Whichever table you gather around, we'll be sure there's plenty to go around. Bring them together with barbecue. Grab Sonny's to go, or let us cater your next shindig. Available for pickup, delivery, or set up and serve. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Your extraordinary brain, a network of microscopic vessels so long they could circle the Earth 3 times. As your body's command center, it's the force behind your every thought, every memory, and every impulse. It's what makes you, you. And it's what drives us towards advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments to create the most comprehensive neuroscience program in North Florida and South Georgia.
Hey, but a big round of applause for our cheer squad tonight. The ladies coming out, getting us fired up. Give them a round of applause. We appreciate their participation. Joining us here at Bowdens in College Town for Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell. And in town for a game this fall, stay at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee downtown, where parking is always complimentary, plus free shuttle service to the airport and Joe Campbell Stadium. Make your hotel reservations at 4 Points by Sheridan, Tallahassee downtown today. All right, welcome back. Bowdens here in College Town, out on the patio. We appreciate everybody coming out and joining us on a beautiful night here in Tallahassee and College Town here with the head coach Mike Norvell. Your defensive group throughout the year, it feels like the switch has flipped over the last probably 4 or 5 games or so, and the group is executing at a pretty solid level. I know, again, end result Saturday night, not what you wanted, but from a standpoint of strength versus strength overall, your guys went out and competed their tails off and made life difficult on an offense that has won the best in all of college football throughout the entire evening overall. As you're getting ready last week and preparing for that matchup, what did you like about what you guys could go out and do and what your guys showed you on the field over 60 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, we knew the challenge, and ultimately, I thought we had a group of guys that embraced that, and but I thought, starting with the defensive front, obviously stretching back to the back end, we kind of highlighted earlier. I mean, those guys, they rose to the challenge. I mean, there was just different elements of things that showed up just where we weren't consistent enough there in the run game. We had a couple mistakes there that were very uncharacteristic of allowing the ball to be run right there in the A gap, which is just something that we pride ourselves in eliminating. But had a couple of mistakes that left a gap open, and they were able to take advantage of it a few times throughout the course of the game, and that was something that we've got to continue to improve upon. I thought some of the third downs that was one of the things that we just we had some missed opportunities, and times to be able to get off the field. There was a couple times that there's one on our staff where we just had a miscommunication, and you got caught with 12 guys on the field, which is something that's unexcusable on our end, and we've got to be better in that situation. And then taking advantage of those times when we get in third down situations, third and long, and we got to make sure that we're getting the ball back to the offense. We're getting off the field. We're able to take that the momentum from the flip of field position, and I thought our guys as a whole really did a lot of good things, but you find those elements in those areas where we just have to continue to take steps. And it was a big strength there a week ago, and obviously against a very talented team, an area where we have to get better here this week.
Speaking of Patrick Surtain, who we'll talk to a little bit later on tonight, the former head coach at American Heritage, one of his former guys, Earl Little, who he's been working to find his niche, I think, in this defense throughout the year. It's the most extensive action we saw from him, Coach. He took advantage of it, tied for the team lead in tackles with 6 tackles Saturday night.
I was really proud of Earl. And Earl's kind of gone through a position change as we got into the season. Went from playing our nickel position, moving back to the free safety spot, which I think is a very natural position for him. Obviously, Kevin Knowles has done a nice job at nickel. Seeing Edwin Joseph, really emerge as a guy that's been able to play that position as well as given us some flexibility to move Earl, and he's embraced that. And it's there's a lot of learning, a lot of teaching, a lot of things that you have to go through. Really tried to maximize the bye week a few weeks ago. He had he actually had a little sickness that they had to miss a few practices there leading up to the Duke week, so he wasn't as we were expecting to get a little bit more of a jump there, but he did take advantage of this last week, and I thought you saw his physicality, his speed, made a couple really nice open field tackles. He's going to be a guy that I think you're just going to see an exponential growth with each rep that he gets, with his better understanding. I think I mentioned on the show before, he really reminds me so much of Jamie Robinson, in just his skill set. And Jamie went through that same transition, and where he came and initially was playing nickel. We moved him back to safety, and then you saw his game go to a whole new level. And so I really see a lot of that similar path for Earl, and you're looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to continue to do.
Yeah, very exciting there, no question about that. that. Hey, let's check in on our Scott and Wallace keys to success as North Carolina coming to town. We'll get a more extensive breakdown of the Tar Heels from Coach in our next segment. But Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of Florida State Athletics. Scott and Wallace with offices in Tallahassee. Coach, Carolina comes to town. They snapped a 4-game losing streak and picked up their first ACC win of the season at Virginia this past Saturday afternoon. You see the Tar Heels. What are the standouts right away for you?
Yeah, I mean, they're coming off their best game, and it was a complete game. Offense, defense, special teams all played at a very high level. It's a talented team. I mean, they're big. They run well. I think they got probably the best back in our league. He's a dynamic player. Great speed, size. He runs with patience, but when he sees a seam, I mean, he can definitely take it the distance. They've had injury at quarterback. They're early in the season, and then obviously they've played a couple different guys, but they've really settled in, and I think that you see the potential that they have. In this last game, they were able to push the ball down the field. Had a couple explosive plays. Defensively, they're going to show you multiple different looks, pressure packages. They're going to incorporate their defensive backs into pressure packages, and so we really got to make sure that in all areas that we're controlling the things that we can control, and you'll be able to take what they give us and go put together our best game here as we get to come back home here this week.
Scott and Wallace, keys to success right there from Florida State head coach Mike Norvell. We'll take a break. We'll come back. One more segment with Coach, and Azaria Thomas is in the house tonight. He'll join us right around the corner. That and more on the way, live from Bowdens in College Town. Back after this timeout.
Your home. It's the one place that no matter how busy life gets, your friends and family can always find you. It's where they can show you they care, they want to celebrate with you, or they just have your back. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning are always available to make sure your home and all the people who love to share it with you are comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, we will always be there for you.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Back at Bowdens in College Town, out in the courtyard, getting ready for another matchup here at Doak Campbell Stadium. Sold out crowd expected. We're looking forward to it in a big time way as North Carolina comes to town. Let's get right to it. How about our Bowdens historical matchup feature here on the show? We're going to go back to year one of the Mike Norvell era back in October 17, 2020. Fifth-ranked North Carolina in town after a block punt by Ja'Kai Douglas. Jordan Travis making his way into the end zone for a big touchdown. And, of course, the defense would get involved as well. Joshua Kando right there with a pick six of Sam Howell, and the Noles would jump out. Look at that Powerade bath right there. on Coach Norvell. That had to be a little bit chilly. A 31-7 halftime lead, held on for a 31-28 victory over 5th-ranked North Carolina as Mike Norvell became the only coach in ACC history to defeat a top 5 team in his first year as a coach in the conference with that win over Carolina back in 2020. Brought to you by Bowden's, of course, the host site of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell here every Monday night, 7 to 8 p.m. That'll be a fun night back in 2020, right? Chilly, Powerade, how'd that feel?
It was pretty sticky.
Pretty sticky?
But no, I mean, it was obviously that first year, working through, just all the different dynamics, COVID and all those things. It was a great night for those players, and just to be able to have that experience, was really big for them. And it's good seeing some of those guys. You mentioned Ja'Kai Douglas, having the block punt, and Ja'Kai's a guy that's really done just a lot of great things for us this year. And in the senior season, really just proud of him.
Yeah, no question about that. So that was a fun one to look back upon back in 2020. All right, you're getting ready. You're going through the week. And, of course, Carolina comes in. You talked about them a little bit a moment ago. But step by step, I know you're back to work here on Tuesday. Give me your thoughts for the week, getting ready and trying to go out there and put your best foot forward.
No, I mean, that's it. And, obviously we talk about work each week. And, but now it's a time for the results to show up on the field. And, that's a challenge to everybody in our program, myself, coaches, players, all of us. We got to go get the job done. And, it's I appreciate that this is a team that does care about each other, and they play hard. They've pushed themselves, and nobody wants to be where we're sitting. I know I've said that when you look at the record and you look at the results, I mean nobody's happy with any element of what we're doing or what we've done up to this point. But it's still about making the choice to go get better, making the choice to continue to fight, continue to believe, and all we have in front of us is this game Saturday, and we're gonna do all that we can to go put our best out there and be able to get the job done.
Yep, Coach, thanks for your time as always. We appreciate you stopping by.
Well, thank everybody coming out. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and go Noles.
Head Coach Mike Norvell with us here as Florida State gets ready for North Carolina on Saturday afternoon over at Joe Campbell Stadium. As our program brought to you in part by Truist, when you start with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist, leaders in banking unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC. As R.A. Thomas joins us on the main stage when we return, we're back after this timeout. Stay with us, more on the way.
Around here, there's an undeniable spirit. It's like it's always been there. You just feel it. It energizes. It connects. It grows at every intersection in its path. And when met with our passion to win, well, it can be downright powerful. At Scott & Wallace, it's this spirit that fuels us. Scott & Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Dining room, picnic, tailgate, or conference room. Whichever table you gather around, we'll be sure there's plenty to go around. Bring them together with barbecue. Grab Sonny's to go, or let us cater your next shindig. Available for pickup, delivery, or set up and serve. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
In College Town, This is Inside Seminole Football. Let's rejoin the voice of the Seminoles, Jeff Culhane.
Back in on Monday night. Great to be here. Again, we love our outdoor setup here at Bowdens in College Town. Big thanks to the team at Seminole Productions and, of course, our great engineer, Chris Culp, as well on the Seminole Sports Network side for setting us up in a big-time way. As our program brought to you in part by Carver's Discount Cleaners, mean on stains, green on earth. Try new Eco Green dry cleaning at Carver's Discount Cleaners, 1215 North Monroe Street in Midtown here in Tallahassee. And how about time now for our Gear of the Week segment brought to you by Garnet and Gold. And we take a peek up at our main stage here. And in honor of Military Appreciation Weekend, this week's item is a Men's Coliseum Performance Fleece hoodie with the Seminole Head logo on the sand camo colorway. That's pretty darn good. What do you think, AZ? We like it right over here?
Yeah,
there you go. There you go, right there. That's pretty darn good. And that might be coming home with me, folks, after the show here tonight. Garnet and Gold has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years. Visit one of the 3 locations here in Tallahassee and pick up your new game day gear. Please give it up for Niceville native standout DB Azaria Thomas here with us tonight. It is great to see you, sir. Always appreciate your time overall. You have gone out and had yourself one heck of an individual season overall. Let's just start there. Talk about the work. You're a guy that likes to stick around after practice, get some extra reps. You put that work in. Take me through your focus, your mentality as a player to get better every single day.
Really just trying to keep the main thing. Each and every day I just try to get better. Each and every day I just try to find something to work on and to work at. And I feel like when you put the work in and when you prepare the right way, you can find confidence in that. And I just try to instill that into my DB group, and I try to instill that into the team as well. So I just feel like if you do those things consistently on a day-to-day basis, when the game comes, it'll just be natural to you, and it'll be second nature. So it's something that I pride myself in.
You got to have a special mentality to play DB, especially corner, because it's for 90% of the time it feels like you're one-on-one with a man across from you, and it's the ultimate one-on-one moment in the sport of football overall. What is it about playing the position and the mentality you have to have in a game, because you're going up against some of the best in college football week in and week out, and they're going to challenge you each and every time?
Yes, sir. Being a DB, you have to have that confidence. And like I said, that confidence stems from the work. So each and every day, like just trying to find something to work on. Just being a DB, you have to have that hunger to go get the ball, to tackle the ball, and to just end up with the ball in your hands. Yeah. And playing DB, we guard people backwards. Like I don't think people really, I guess, realize that or recognize that enough. Yeah. So just being a DB, you have to be a special human being. And I just give props to everybody out there in the country that plays this position, because it is truly a hard one, but it is worth it. So.
You know, one item that you and I have talked about before, but I wanted to recognize again, back in the springtime, back in your hometown, you were named the All Sports Association Male Collegiate Award winner after your 2023 college football season. Very special award in Northwest Florida in the Big Bend. And Azaria was awarded by Florida State great Warwick Dunn that night, who awarded him with that standout award. How special was that? That would be an unbelievable moment.
Yes, sir. It was. I mean, it was special. But first and foremost, I just want to give all the thanks, the praise, and glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Because without Him, I wouldn't have been able to get that rewarded to me. So first, I'm just gonna reflect all that to Him, and just being there with my family and just seeing my mom. Like when you see your mom cry, it's just like a different type of feeling. So I can't even explain it for real. Just seeing and then my oldest brother got the same award as well. So just everything that happened in that night was just such a blessing, and I really can't thank the man above enough. And I just continue to just allow him to use me in a special way to impact others, and just and to present myself in the right way, and to represent my mom well. So. Yes, sir.
You're definitely doing that. There's no question about it. We're going to have your position coach, Patrick Surtain, coming up in a moment. He knows something about playing corner, playing 11 years in the National Football League. How I guess just cool, for lack of a better word, is it to be able to learn and be mentored by a guy who has done it at the highest level like Coach Surtain has?
Yes, sir. Man, it's been nothing short of a blessing. Every day he tells us, like, this is an imperfect game played by imperfect people. He doesn't put unnecessary pressure on us, and he prepares us the right way. And each drill, each pod, everything that we go through has a purpose to it. So when you have a coach that really cares about the little details, it makes everything else a lot easier. And when he coaches you hard and when he gets on your butt in practice, I know it's from a place of love. It's not from a place of, oh, you did this, you did that. He's not a coach that's just going to scream and yell at you all the time. And that's something that I appreciate from him, and it's something that I will forever cherish. So I thank him for that, and I will continue to carry that on with me as I continue to move on.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. All right, we got a big one coming up against North Carolina. 4 games left in the regular season. Certainly you want to end this season in positive fashion. Just let folks know the focus from a player's perspective on wanting to go out and flip this thing a little bit, AZ, and go out and grab some W's.
Yes, sir. Really main thing, all the talking, all the hoorah, hooray, all that, all that is over. It's time to go win it's time to go play a full, complete ball game and win a game. And the main focus for this week is to break the rock. That's the main focus. All the talking, everything else, less words, more action, and that's where I'm at from a place of my heart, and I know that's where we're at from the place of the whole team. So that's really just the main focus, is just to break the rock. Whatever we got to do to break the rock. If we got to stay after and watch some more film, if we got to stay after and work on certain steps, work on certain techniques, whatever it may have to be. Let's just break the rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, great job. Great seeing you as always.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Give it up
you.
to Azareae Thomas, ladies and gentlemen. Standout corner for this Florida State football team. Coming up next, his position coach, Patrick Surtain, joins me on the main stage. Live from Bowdleton College Town. We're back after this timeout.
Strength, determination, passion. When you need a fighter, when you need someone to have your back, when it's all on the line, we'll be right there. Scott and Wallace, the official law firm of the Florida State Seminoles.
Your extraordinary brain, a network of microscopic vessels so long they could circle the Earth 3 times. As your body's command center, it's the force behind your every thought, every memory, and every impulse. It's what makes you, you. And it's what drives us towards advanced technologies and cutting-edge treatments to create the most comprehensive neuroscience program in North Florida and
Hey
South.
Seminole fans, this is Josh Storms, head strength and conditioning coach for Florida State football. Are you tired of sleeping hot? I was too. ChiliPad has a solution for that. ChiliPad works with your existing mattress. It's a temperature-regulated, water-based mattress topper that precisely controls your bed temperature from 55 degrees to 115 degrees. Visit www.sleep.me/Seminoles and see why ChiliPad bed cooling systems are the official bed cooling partner of Florida State Athletics. That's sleep.me/Seminole.
Coming back.
More Inside Seminole Football. Here is Jeff Culhane.
And we are back here at Bowdleton College Town. Great to be with you as we're talking all things Florida State football. And our program is brought to you in part by our friends at Grassroots Coffee. We appreciate their support of Florida State football. Grassroots Coffee is the official coffee of the Battle's End. And every time you drink Battle's End Blend, you support FSU athletes. Order Battle's End Blend today at grassrootscoffee.com. As always, a shout out to Mark Lowe and his great team at Grassroots Coffee. And did you know that FSU Athletics is self-supported and is not funded by tax dollars? Because of this, we rely on fans just like you to join Seminole Boosters so your teams have the best possible chance to achieve success on and off the field. Seminole Booster membership starts at $5 per month and comes with great membership benefits. Go online to SeminoleBoosters.com to learn more or join. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. Please, a big round of applause for FSU DB's Coach Patrick Surtain is here with us, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see you, as always. We appreciate your time.
No problem.
Talk about who we just talked to, Azareye'h Thomas, and the work that young man has put in. He and Fentrell Cypress have formed a real dynamic duo for you at cornerback this season.
Yeah, man. Like AZ said, those guys put the work in. They spend time after practice. They're serious about their craft, but most importantly, they're good kids. You know, you don't have to worry about them chasing them around, going to school, getting treatment on their bodies. I call them pros. They handle themselves like pros. The attention to detail it takes to play that position, day in, day out. You know, just the habits they form to make themselves the players that they are, and obviously it shows on Saturdays.
When did you know you wanted to be a coach? Because you're a guy that an amazing NFL career, 11 years, one of the greats to do it. When did you know you wanted to do and give back in coaching?
You know what? It actually started when my son started to play.
Yeah.
When he was 5 years old, and I had retired from the game, and I was at his practice all day, and I was one of those crazy parents in the stands yelling at the coaches. So I was like, I'm out here every day. Why not, lend my expertise and give back? So that's how this journey started when he was like 5 years old, and the love grew year by year as I continued to do it. Obviously, being a high school head coach, then going to NFL, and now at the college level. And it's all about trying to affect young men's lives, not only on the football field but off of it. And that's the joy I get out of it.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch your group. There's no question about that. This last weekend, you faced a Miami offense that certainly had a lot of success throwing the football and scoring points throughout the season. Not the end result you wanted, but as you watched the film, what were your big takeaways of how you went out and executed?
It's never as good or never as bad as it seemed when you watch the film, but I thought our guys battled. I thought we covered those guys up. They were averaging, 340, 50 yards a game. The guy was throwing 3-4 touchdowns a game. Yeah. We held them without a touchdown, but it always comes back to the little things, especially in the secondary. Like I tell my guys all the time, the guys up front in the linebacker position, they can make a mistake that leads to a 4 or 5 yard gain, whereas on the back end, you make a mistake and it leads to big plays and touchdowns. So I always tell them, man, our communication level has to be elite on the back end, and we missed some things, some timely things on third downs that we can get corrected. But like I said, the guys played 60 minutes, man. They never wavered. They fought their butts off. Obviously, the result wasn't what we wanted, but you can always take comfort and know that your guys are going to play hard, for 60 minutes.
Yep. We'll take one more timeout, come back and wrap things up with Florida State defensive backs coach Patrick Surtain when we come back. Live to Balance in College Town, back after this timeout.
Florida, home to pristine beaches, unique dining experiences, world-class accommodations, and the thrills that keep the young and young at heart coming back to the Sunshine State. From coast to coast, see what our 10,000 members of the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association have been preparing for you. Exceptional eats, historic sites, and lodging to fit any budget. So whether you're here making deals or making memories, come get a flavor for Florida's finest restaurants and hotels.
Inside Seminole Football.
There's our great team from Seminole Productions who put this all together tonight. What a great setup and a great scene we have here on the courtyard outdoors here at Bowditch in College Town. Of course, proud partner of Florida State Athletics and the home of Inside Seminole Football with Mike Norvell here every Monday night during the football season, live in College Town from 7 to 8 p.m. The man wearing the stocking cap over there, Jacob Varga, handed me this note a little bit earlier. Coach, one of your former teammates, Richmond Webb, offensive lineman, he made the cut for the final 50 for the next class of the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame earlier today. That's to hear something like that as you played in Miami with the Dolphins from 98 to 04. That's got a cut for you pretty deep, pretty cool.
That's huge, man. I have two teammates that already made the Hall, and Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas, and Richmond Webb, who was one of the most dominant left tackles, in this era. He definitely deserves consideration. So happy for Big Rich.
Yeah, that's very cool. You yourself, as we talked about, 11 years in the National Football League. That experience, how did that mold you as a coach? What are some of your influences from that time in your life, in your football career?
Jimmy Johnson drafted me. So, you get to take bits and pieces from coaches that you've played under. My position coach, still influential in my life to this day, Mel Phillips. You just take things that you've learned from them and things that you learn in the game around other guys and try to implement it into these young men. And, they've taken heed to it. They've run with it, and, I will continue to do so. Yeah,
absolutely. An amazing career, 11 years in the National Football League. All right, Coach, let's talk about this week. Carolina, this is an offense. Jacoby Criswell, their quarterback, third stringer. Feels like they're starting to kind of hit their stride a little bit. What jumps out on tape about the Tar Heels and the challenge?
Stop the running game. Yeah. Stop the running back. He's one of the best backs, if not the best back that we played against this year. The interior of their offensive line is pretty good. Receivers are decent, and like you said, the quarterback, he's an athletic guy who has a pretty strong arm. But I think we can handle him in the back end. The main goal is to stop the run, make them one-dimensional, and let our dogs eat. You know, so that's the game plan for this week. I think, and the kids have been phenomenal, man. You can never tell that we're 1-7 at this point. Yeah. They come in each and every day, work their tails off, and we're going to get this thing turned around, man. We're going to get a win Saturday.
There you go. Coach, it's great to have you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
Appreciate that. Right. That's Patrick Surtain, DB's coach at Florida State. That'll do it here on Monday night. Thanks to everybody. Have a great night, and go Noles!